that name.
His real name is Draco Malfoy.
Yeah.
We call him Jane.
He filmed Dunkirk, right?
Who filmed Dunkirk?
Christopher Nolan, did he?
No.
Yes, he did.
No, he didn't.
Don't lie to me.
He was there.
He's the director. Let's start. Okay.
Okay. The episode
Hey,
already
guys.
started.
Already started?
What do you mean?
What? You already started the episode?
What are you talking about?
We did. Hey, I feel like I'm too close. Hey guys, it's Aiden.
All right, go ahead. Keep going.
This is Aiden, and with my friend Marshall here. Welcome to the Life Project, where we tell funny stories about people's lives that will become a podcast one day, and Aiden's dreams will be fully realized. And Marshall will come to his house and see Aiden's setup, and Marshall will be like, "Holy cow, Aiden! I once had a dream to do a podcast. It was going to be called the Cinnamon Lounge." Cinnamon Lounge. It was going to be big. I love your setup. Action.
Okay. Welcome to the show.
Hey, welcome to the show.
Welcome everyone to the newest episode of Cinema Lounge, the official podcast of the Great Scub Do, the YouTube channel that I touch. And I have to change what I say now because we've actually started updating the YouTube
say
channel.
It again. What's this say?
It used to be, because it was just a barren YouTube channel for so long, and I would say, welcome to the Great the Cinema Lounge, the YouTube channel. No, I can't say it. Welcome to Cinema Lounge, the official podcast of the Great Scub Do, the YouTube channel that we never touch. But now I started uploading the episodes of the podcast to
Great
it.
Scub 2 is your...
The Great Scub Do.
The Great Scrub Do.
The Great Scrub Do.
Is your YouTube channel.
Yes, except that now it's called Cinema Lounge. So that's a very confusing introduction now that I think about it.
That's smart.
Huh. I feel like I have to keep saying the official podcast of the Great Scub Do, though.
No. I'm just going to keep asking it right now so people who are listening to this are already on YouTube never ever doubt again what the YouTube channel is called.
It's called Cinema Lounge.
Yeah, Cinnamon Lounge.
Cinnamon Lounge.
Cinnamon Lounge.
Cinnamon Lounge.
Cinnamon Ledge.
Cinnamon Lozenge. I'm Marshall, and I'm always here. I keep automatically looking at the camera even though it's not on. I'm always here, except for the one time that I wasn't.
Who hosted
And Ben did. He talked about Tarzan. I was like, hey, I need you to do an episode right now because I don't have time.
By himself?
Yeah.
Wow.
I've done a couple episodes by myself. I'm going to do another one by myself.
No, I think that's fine. I just didn't know.
Well, that's fine. Whatever. I mean, I'll do one. You can do
fine,
one by yourself
whatever.
if you
It's
want
whatever.
to. It's okay. I have with me Aiden.
Hi, guys. I'm Aiden. I'm Marshall's coworker and I about said ex-lover, but
I guess.
kinda. I love movies. I've gotten to movies way more recently. Marshall knows way more about movies than I do, but I feel like you will hear my takes and you'll be like, if you are a average movie viewer, you'll be like, this guy kind of knows some stuff. But if you're anything like Marshall or above, where you actually like know more about movies, you'll be like, this guy is offering what I would call cute takes. As in like, yeah, they're definitely like, they're fair, but like they're not very deep. So I hope you enjoy the give and take of that, because I will be that.
That's okay.
That's it.
That's okay. I don't discriminate. Like, I feel like people expect me to get so mad when they haven't seen something.
Or you don't, when the guest doesn't have any notes at all.
Sure. That's fine. Like, the big thing that always happens is because I'm a big Star Wars fan, people will be like, well, I haven't seen Star Wars. Don't kill me. And I'm like, I really don't care.
You have a sword to their neck as they're saying it.
But yeah, exactly.
Like,
I've
I don't
already
even
killed
care.
them.
They're already dead.
You are already.
Don't kill me, you're dead.
Before you even finish the sentence.
Don't get.
Oh, never mind. And you've been sliced. But it doesn't matter to me if people have seen like old classics and stuff. And that's even the thing that me and Dan were talking about the other day of like,
Is Dan Rush, or can I say his name?
yeah?
Is he crazy on movies too?
No, not really. He's more about like the storytelling aspect of it and everything, and not necessarily like having seen a ton of movies. But that's what he was saying is like, you'd be surprised like the amount of classic movies I haven't seen. And I was like, well, I feel like how many people have actually seen all of these movies that we call classic movies in the first place? Like, I've seen a lot of stuff, but I still have massive gaps in my...
Yeah.
Like, I haven't seen Titanic.
What's your average like amount of movies you watch per week? What's your...
Oh, I mean, maybe one generally. Like, yesterday was a crazy example.
What's the in a 12-hour period?
In a 12-hour period?
What's the most movies? How many is the how many movies have you watched?
What is the most I've watched in a 12-hour period? 6.
6 movies?
No, not possible.
That'd be all 2 hours.
It would be a little more than that. I went a few years ago to do the Marcus Oscar Film Festival thing, and over 2 weekends they did all of the Best Picture nominated movies.
So you sat in a theater for
the whole day.
Wow. Do you come out of there just a different person?
Depending on the movie. That was the year that 1917 was nominated.
Oh.
And I'd already seen it in the theater, so I saw it 2 times.
Do you like that one?
I love it.
Oh my gosh.
That's kind of topical for this one a little bit.
It's like top 5 favorite movies.
It's very, very good.
Oh my gosh.
I think what won that year? We're gonna talk about Dunkirk at some point, by the way, guys. But,
Dunkirk. I can't. Well,
Oscars. What's the movie we were just talking about?
1917. While Marshall's looking, I came to him and I said, "I don't know much, but I'd love to talk about Dunkirk." And he was like, "All right." Oh wait, did you play the music after?
What do you mean?
Like how you have music in the background of the podcast?
You can't hear the music here in the lounge?
No. Yes, I can. It's
there. You go.
I love the. Oh wow, is that Post Malone you're playing?
No.
Oh, now Kendrick.
No, it's jazz.
Now Drake.
I can't afford that. I don't have money. It's the 92nd Oscars. Select a category: Best Picture, Best Picture, Best Picture. The trick is always that it's the year after the movie comes out.
What year did the movie come out?
2019. So it's the 2020. Oh, Parasite won that year. Yep. Bound to happen. Parasite, Ford versus Ferrari, The Irishman, Jojo Rabbit, Joker, Little Women, Marriage. Joker was nominated for Best Picture. Kill me, please.
You like Joker?
It's stupid. It's not good. Little Women, Marriage Story, 1917, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I still have not seen Marriage Story.
Oh, with Adam Driver and Scarlett.
That's the only one that on this list that I haven't seen. Yeah. Directed and written by Noah Baumbach.
Never heard of him. Did you? I have so many questions. We'll get to Dunkirk. Did you like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
Yeah, I thought it was great.
I didn't know that. Oh my gosh, what's his name? The director.
Leonardo DiCaprio. Oh, Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah, I didn't. It was the weirdest movie. It was so long.
It's very long and wandering.
He calls it. I think he called it one of his best scripts he's ever written. With Django Unchained, and I was like, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. I need to watch it again, but I was like, it was so weird. It's a weird movie.
It is.
He's also a weirdo.
He is very much a weirdo. I don't love Quentin Tarantino or his
He just talks
movies.
like he has a high.
Let me tell you about movies.
Yeah.
This is the thing that I like about movies.
Yeah.
And we're gonna go.
He's
like,
weird.
shut up.
He's weird.
He's very strange.
He's kind of opposite in personality of the director of the movie we're talking about. Christopher Nolan, Quentin Tarantino, both I think really talented.
Sure, absolutely.
Very different people, but like I'm drawn to both their movies.
Yeah.
So they have to have some similarities. I think their plots are good.
What
are some Tarantino movies? Django Unchained,
Inglourious Bastards, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Reservoir Dogs, Jackie Brown, Kill Bill Parts 1 and 2,
Pulp Fiction.
I don't like Pulp Fiction. Yeah. That's my biggest hot take probably is that I'm not a Pulp Fiction fan.
Yeah, I probably.
And then there's a couple Hateful Eight and Death Proof. I think that's all of them.
Hateful. I mean, Tarantino just loves blood and gore.
He does.
He loves it.
We all do. We all love it.
Oh.
We all.
I mean,
love it.
like watching Tarantino and Hateful Eight, not watching him. Like when there's brain chunks everywhere. He's probably in it. Like he was in Django. Like, oh. Anyways, I like him. He's a good guy.
He's a nice man,
Good
and
guy.
I'm sure.
Great friend.
Come on the show, Quenty. No, I don't want to talk to Quentin Tarantino. We're talking about Dunkirk today. It's the movie that Aiden wanted to talk about. I said, Aiden, what movie do you want to talk about? He said Dunkirk. He said Dunkirk came out in 2017 and is directed by Christopher Nolan and shot by Hoyt van Hoytema.
I about said that name. I know.
And is also written by Christopher Nolan, you said. And then you said, oh, did you know that the score was done by Hans Zimmer? And I said, I did know that.
I could have actually told you that.
I'm sure you could,
He
and you did.
Does he does Interstellar, and does he do most Nolan movies?
I think he has, like, since The Dark Knight.
He didn't do Oppenheimer, though, did he?
No, he did.
He
No. Ludwig Göransson did Oppenheimer, but Ludwig Göransson is kind of like Hans Zimmer protege a little bit in a way. He's the guy who did Mandalorian and Black Panther.
Really?
That's what really made him blow up. He's very good. I have thoughts about Oppenheimer's score, but you'll hear that. Oh, you already heard that because that episode's been out for like a week. But Dunkirk came out in 2017. The IMDb synopsis is Allied soldiers from Belgium, the British Commonwealth and Empire, and France. That's so many things.
Wow, that was so
Allied soldiers from Belgium, the British Commonwealth and Empire, and France are surrounded by the German army and evacuated during a fierce battle in World War II. So, that's what the IMDb says it is. The funny thing is just that IMDb is always so, like, inaccurate. Not how I would describe the movie. I don't know where the fierce battle is.
No.
There's some airplanes at one point.
And yeah, it would be like, good guys are forced to edge, surrounded by enemy. Good guys must find way to evacuate, but bad guys keep picking them off from airplanes. Good guys find way. Churchill makes good move with civilian boats, helps win war.
That's great.
That's what the description is.
That's like Michael Scott. What is the whole thing where he's like doing a headline and it's just vastly too long?
I used to post that on
Some people still know how to do how business is done.
What's the beginning?
I don't remember.
Dunder Mifflin Scranton apologizes to loyal company. Like, just keeps going.
It just goes forever. Just the longest winded possible description of Dunkirk.
Bad guy.
Bad guys
Surround good guy on beach.
and then just the stupid short version. Bad guy surround good guy on beach. What's Dunkirk about? Guys on a beach.
Guys. The day at the beach.
Just a great day at the beach. That's one of my favorite things is describe a movie poorly. And there's like subreddits dedicated to this of just like a group of men spend years returning jewelry. And it's The Lord of the Rings. It's like really bad descriptions. Just a beach day. A day out with Kenneth Branagh.
Jewelry.
Yeah. That's beautiful.
So stupid.
Well, that is probably the best way to sum up this movie, and that's the show.
That's it, guys. Have a good one. Godspeed.
Thanks. I'm Marshall.
I'm Aiden.
Bye. Just kidding.
Just kidding.
We
We're
have
back.
things to talk about. Here we are. We were saying movie directed and written by Christopher Nolan. The score is Hans Zimmer. Shot by Hoyt van Hoytema. Performances by Finn Whitehead. Completely
Finn?
Oh. Like Star Wars. Finn.
Ah.
Completely unknown.
Tangled.
Or no, it might be Fion. There's an O. I don't know. Completely unknown at the time. Barry Keoghan, I don't know. Mark Rylance, who I love. Tom Hardy. Tom Glynn Carney. That's one person. Kenneth Branagh, Cillian Murphy, Jack Lowden, and Harry Styles, among a billion other people, are in this.
What's the guy from...
What do you think?
Real quick. You said a lot of names.
Yeah.
The guy from Eternals. He's in it, right?
You're describing Harry Styles as the guy from Eternals?
No, there's another guy. It's the one... There's like the 4 or 5 main people. It's the guy who goes blind and then dies in the movie. He's also...
He is in Eternals.
What's his name? Did you say
Barry
it there?
Keoghan.
Barry Keoghan, okay.
Mm-hmm. He's also in...
Don't tell me what to start with. Give me some hints. Give me like the dumb description. Wait, as a grown man he's in it? Or is he a boy in it?
I mean, he is a... I don't know. He's like 20s. You want me to give you the...
Yes.
Describe it poorly?
Yes.
Two men break up.
Like... They were dating and they broke up?
No. You said describe it poorly. I did.
Like a band?
No.
Is it the story of Raising Cane's and what's the other one? Zaxby's?
No.
It's not a movie.
What?
Could be a movie.
Could be a movie. I don't know what you're talking about.
Zaxby's? In the
I
South.
know about
Raising
I know about Todd,
Todd?
founder of Raising Cane's.
Maybe that story's wrong. What is
I
it?
don't know.
The break.
The Banshees of Inisherin.
I never have even heard that movie.
Really
before.
good. We talked about it on the show. You should listen to it. What do you think of the movie?
Dunkirk?
Yeah.
It's my, I think, so context.
Yeah.
I watched it in theaters.
I think I also did.
Yeah. I was a senior. What month did it come out? Anyway, it doesn't matter. What day? I
What
watched
time
it.
was it?
When I was in high school or in college. I appreciated it. I thought it was really engaging. Thought it was a crazy cool story. And then I maybe watched it a couple more times throughout. The last 5 years, maybe once or twice.
Yeah.
But I watched it. It came on Netflix, I think, recently. Maybe not, but at least
it's
it popped.
on Max right now.
Really?
Yeah.
It's on Netflix too.
That's weird.
Yeah. Unless it's gone recently, but I watched it like 2 months ago on Netflix. But then I went overseas just this past month, and on the plane in Bangladesh or India. Anyways, we're on the plane, and I look at the movie. What should I watch? And I saw Dunkirk. And I'm like, I just saw it. We're on a plane. I need something that's a little more captivating because I just seen it, and I play it, and I watch it. I'm like, the movie ends, and I'm like, that might be my favorite war movie of all time. And
Really?
I think if you would have asked me that literally a month ago, I'd have been like, 1917, Saving Private Ryan. I was at Saving Private Ryan's Privates.
Classic.
Even Inglourious Basterds is kind of a funny war movie.
Yeah.
But Dunkirk might be my favorite war movie. I think how it's the plot, the hopelessness you feel, just how it's shot. I was telling Marshall before this podcast came on. My taste in movies is I'm still trying to figure it out, but I like a good plot. I want the story to make me feel something, not the sound score or the music score, whatever. I want the actual storyline to be like, wow, what an amazing. So that's why I'm drawn to more historical nonfiction movies. But also the way it's told, I don't know if it's true about I doubt it's true about that one boat they talk about with the son and the dad and then the friend. I don't think that's probably. Actually, I thought it was in the paper. They put it in the paper at that
In
time.
the movie they did. I wonder. I don't know. I would wonder what. Because Nolan went to extreme lengths to make this as historically accurate as possible, down to
Really?
the buttons on the coats of the uniforms.
Really?
Yeah. It's crazy. Almost all of the boats and planes and stuff were real and from that time. They had 2 actual Spitfires from a private collection in Texas. A billionaire has just a ton of planes. This guy it's him and the Queen are the only people in the world, I believe,
What?
that own Spitfires. Yeah, and a lot of the civilian boats that you see were the same boats. 20 of those
way.
boats were the same boats that were used at the time.
How does he find them?
I don't know. Put out a call.
That's why he's my favorite, dude. He is insane. He's like a genius.
Yeah.
Anyways, I love the movie. I think I still if you don't walk out of a Nolan movie a little confused, it wasn't a Nolan movie.
Yes.
So I still think the timelines were a little. I think it was the second time I watched it. I'm like, whoa, these are different timelines, but they're together and they're different and they're kind of. It still takes me time to think. Okay, it's dark now, but now it's light time on the boat. Oh wait, it's
It's
later
different.
on in the day.
1
kind
week,
of thing.
1 day,
Yeah.
1 hour.
Yeah.
And I didn't get that the first time I watched it. So I was really confused as to why is Cillian Murphy on this boat when he was just on that boat?
Yeah.
And it didn't make any sense
Yeah.
to me. I found that out later, and then watching it for the second time now. It's only the second time I've watched it. It made a lot more sense, and I liked it a lot more. Understanding that.
I mean, even the actors he brings in, I love Tom Hardy's one of my favorite actors of all time.
Yeah.
The way he's able to. Cillian Murphy had very few lines, didn't really do anything.
Yeah.
Even Tom Hardy
There were
wasn't.
very few lines in the whole movie.
Yeah, Tom Hardy barely talked it too, and yet you're captivated the entire time. It's not slow ever.
No.
The entire time you're on the edge of your seat. I love it. I love the hopelessness. I love it just shows the side of war. I love the opening scene where they're just walking through, and then on the flyer comes down and it says surrender, and you're
That's cool.
what's happening? And then also get shots being fired at, and 3 of his buddies get hit. He's the only one to climb over the fence.
Yeah.
It's just it's so enjoyable. It's so real. It's not dramatized. It's like, this is what I mean. It's dramatic and just,
Yeah, I get you though. Like it is very much taken from a realistic, historically accurate perspective, and not heightened.
Yeah.
Is the word I would probably use. Like it is not like when they're the thing. Oh, this is something that kind of shows that is the first time I watched it when Barry Keoghan gets pushed down and hits his head. I was thinking, that's ridiculous. That wouldn't kill somebody. But obviously it would. Like, in real life, we are so fragile. And falling down, like, just from the length of your own height, from your head to the floor. If you hit something wrong, or just right, rather, then that is death. Like, that will kill you.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happens there. And it's so meaningless, which makes it so much worse.
Yeah. And that's why I wondered, too, like, if that's true, because you're like, what a random thing to put in there. It had to be true, but even it shows kind of the reality of humanity, but even kind of war, where it's like not every death of a soldier was this like valiant battle, and he almost made it, and he just missed. It's like this boy wanted to help out.
Yeah,
he didn't even get to really see. He didn't even get to the beach or anything.
He couldn't see France.
No, and he literally just got pushed down by a soldier who's in shock and died, like went blind and died. Like it just shows like that's why like it's so real. It's not added, like it's not dramatized.
But at the same time, it's not like wildly graphic, and it's not wildly sanitized. And it makes sense that it wouldn't be really graphic because we're not telling a story about a big war.
Yeah.
Or it is a big war, but not about like a battle.
No.
Or a big glorious moment or anything. This isn't, Hacksaw Ridge or Saving Private Ryan on Omaha Beach.
No.
It is, which is something that really separates it from every other piece of World War II media that we are really familiar with and it's really popular, is that Saving Private Ryan is a story about valor. The same thing with Hacksaw Ridge, with A Bridge Too Far. Bridge Too Far is about another military disaster, but at the same time you do get more of that lightness and everything in there. The Bridge Over the River Kwai, like all of these different things are much more about like we can do it. This is a story of like escaping and running away and in a way like failure, a military failure at least. And that's so interesting because like in a lot of ways it plays like a horror movie where there's this impending doom coming and you don't know what it is. Like Jason is just in the shadows, and it's like the opening scene of The Batman where all of these guys are just like doing their crime, and then they see the bat signal and they think anywhere in the shadows could be Batman. Germans could be anywhere. Planes could be coming at any moment. You're going to start hearing that wailing sound and realize, crap, we got to get down.
Yeah. And that's even, too, where it's like, it just shows, like, kind of the horror or the doom of it is like, correct me if I'm wrong, the opening scene.
You're wrong.
Okay, someone saved. The opening scene, did he actually kill the guy and then bury him? Because doesn't the main character claim? No, he was already dead, and he just took his uniform.
Yeah, I would think that would be the case. I'd be surprised if that
just
character killed.
But
him.
even just like I'm thinking, the scene I'm thinking of is when the two. I'm not gonna. Do they even have names? Are there any names in the movie?
They do. One of them was like Harry or something.
Styles?
I don't know. Yes. I actually, I don't think their names were Harry. I just had that in my head. But they do have names. When
they're carrying they see, okay, medics are getting through with their bodies. Let's try to get on. So it shows the desperation to get on a boat, but like they get on the boat and all of a sudden it starts getting shot at. So people are like between the boat and the dock or the mole, or whatever it's called, and then getting crushed. And so it just shows like just the way people die in that movie is so like. That's how this guy's life ended. It just shows the brutality of war, where it's not this dramatized, just like the dude just
wasn't even in a battle.
No, he just got squished by a boat. Against a dock. And
squished by a boat,
like a bug. Man gets squished by a boat with dock. So it's just like, it's a good movie, great film. I was even listening to there was a lot of like. Allegations is too strong of a word. People were saying, Nolan, you just chose Harry Styles because of the clout that Harry Styles brings to the film. And remember there was an interview where Nolan was like, I didn't really know how famous Harry Styles was until there was a reaction to like, man, they love him. He goes, I don't even write He goes, I usually don't write with the actor in mind because that limits
Yeah.
the role. He goes, so I wrote it. Harry came in, interviewed for it or auditioned for it, and he was the best person for it. So I was like, he just is a really like real person where he's not. Yeah, I was impressed by that because Harry Styles did really great in it. Like,
he is, but it's just like, it's weird to me because I saw that, but I also saw him talking about how he had a first account story about the men on the beaches and how so many of them were super young and inexperienced. So he very specifically was trying to find like people who had not really acted previously, who were not actors.
Really? So wait,
well, not who hadn't acted, but who were not like, they were unknowns. And like young men. He didn't want to have 30-year-olds playing teenagers. He didn't want Tobey Maguire Spider-Man.
yeah.
Which is why it feels weird to me that we're watching these two guys who we've never seen them before. They're just like soldiers, nameless soldiers. And then eventually Harry Styles shows up, and it like, to me it's distracting. I think that he does a good job, but it just feels weird to me because he's surrounded by all these
No names. I get from that view. Because I do like how they're like, you don't recognize any of the actors. You don't recognize, I don't think you recognize an actor. I didn't recognize an actor until it was either Tom Hardy in The Plane. I think you probably the first. What's the guy's name? He's in Oppenheimer. He's in Tenet.
Kenneth Branagh.
Kenneth Branagh?
Yeah, the Navy guy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I recognize, and then Cillian Murphy. But like, yeah, a lot of them are no-name guys who are like, they're literally no-name guys. You don't even know their name throughout the whole movie.
That's true. Cillian Murphy's character doesn't have a name. He's just called Shivering Soldier.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like how it's told. So I guess from your point, that's true. Where it's like, and then all of a sudden, here's this weirdly attractive movie.
If he was the main guy amongst them, I would feel like I could excuse it more.
Yeah.
But because he's this other dude who comes along later, it just feels weird to me.
I guess the only thing I was impressed by, like, I thought he did a great job acting.
Yeah.
He might have an acting like background, but from all I know about him, he's a singer boy in a pop band.
He does
And
singing?
He sings, yeah.
Really?
Good looking dude.
Wow.
And he shows up in this serious war film and is able to be like really good at it and not. That's what I was impressed by.
I haven't seen him do other good things since then. I mean, like, Don't Worry Darling was kind of terrible.
I haven't seen it.
You don't need to. It's not very good.
I like Chris Pine though.
I also like Chris Pine.
Is he good in it?
Yeah.
That was on the flight too. I thought I could watch that. I'm like, I don't know if I should watch it in front of college age girls behind me. Isn't it kind of sexual?
There is very much an overtone and multiple scenes. Mm-hmm. It's a weird movie that the twist is extremely obvious.
You don't think
Harry Styles?
You don't think Harry Styles is good in it?
His accent is weird.
What's his accent?
I don't know. Like I was confused.
It's not British, is it?
Exactly. I was like, is he supposed to be American because he like slips out of it every once in a while, or is he like? It's very confusing. But it doesn't matter. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Watch it.
Let's see. We've got script, score, cinematography, performances, directing. I think my favorite person in this is Mark Rylance. I just love him in everything. He's the old man on the boat.
What else? Do I know what else he'd be in?
I mean, he's been in a lot of stuff now. Bridge of Spies. He's the spy in Bridge of Spies. Let me look it up.
Is he
Mark Rylance? IMDb. Get rid of this stuff. Previous. Yeah, the first thing that he was in that was like really notable would have probably been Bridge of Spies. Like, he's done tons of work before that, but the first thing that was really popular was Bridge of Spies. And then he did the BFG. He played the BFG. And then he's Mr. Dawson in this, Dunkirk. Ready Player One, he's the creator of the Oasis.
Wow.
Trial of Chicago 7, he's their lawyer.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh.
He's Kunstler. He's in Don't Look Up as the...
What?
Yeah, he's the Tim Cook, like, Apple fake, like the tech guru guy.
That tells him to like not blow up the meteor?
Something like that, yeah. It's been a while since I watched it. He was in a movie called The Outfit that I've heard is really good. He's in Bones and All, which is a Timothée Chalamet movie about cannibalism or something. Love and cannibalism. Yeah, I don't know, man. He's very good. I really love him in this, and there's some interesting depth to his character that may or may not be intentional, where his flag is like, he has all this knowledge about the planes.
Yeah.
So you get the sense that like
probably
that
fought.
comes from somewhere. And they mentioned at one point his son was in the RAF and died in like the first week or so of the war. And you can really see like the reason that he is so dedicated to doing that. Like that's his motivation. But the little cool detail that I saw when I looked some stuff up is that the flags on the boats had a specific kind of code to them. So you see there is the Union Jack in the corner, and then the rest of his flag is blue. And then there's other ones that are Union Jack in the corner, and the rest of the flag is red. The red is all like merchant ships and stuff like that. The blue is like ex-Navy or something like that.
Really?
I think that's the way I understood it. So there's the vague impression that it was either that or something else. And I don't remember what the other thing was. But there's the impression that like that could be the case, that he was formerly military or something.
I definitely get that vibe from him. I mean, I guess if his son died too, but like he's so locked in, he knows, like he can tell what the planes are
By the noise of the engine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is very interesting.
Wow.
What am I gonna look at? Let me look at my notes here.
I just think it's so cool, like how he takes Nolan's able to like bring so much out of these just really simple scenes.
Yeah.
Simple characters, not simple as in like not a lot of lines. The action
Yes.
isn't crazy on some of the scenes. Like them sitting in a boat waiting for the tide to come so the boat can just go into the water.
Yeah.
It's just like you get so much out of it where you're locked in. Like still, there's movies that have way more action.
Yeah.
And yet there's scenes that come
yeah.
and you kind of just sit there and you're like, okay, like
It's
you
just going.
It's part of it, but you can kind of zone out. Every scene, whether like there's moments where you're so locked in because it's how it's told. Like it's
Well, and that timeline thing, how it is told, is really unique.
What's the 1 week thing?
That's just how long that time period is from beginning to end of the movie.
Really?
So we see 1 week of on the ground, 1 day of on the boat, and 1 hour in the air. And then as the movie goes on, you do start to see those intersect.
Wait, so I don't get that.
So work backwards. The movies all end at the same time, but the
so
airplane.
the planes are only up an hour total.
Yeah,
and
because
that's
it
the end
takes
of
them
the-
an hour to fly. It's all about the distance.
Yeah.
So it takes the airplane an hour
to get
to get
that.
across. It takes the boat a day to get across, and it takes these men all week because they've been waiting.
Okay.
So it's an interesting way of like also showing that distance via the organization of the movie. But I really like how you do start to see it intersect at times.
Yeah.
Like, where did I write this here? Tom Hardy at one point looks down and sees the boat the soldiers were on sinking.
Yeah.
Right before them, and then it cuts to them finding that boat for the first time.
Yeah.
And the Spitfire's flying in for the first time, and then when his friend crashes, and then the movie goes on for like a long time, and then
Comes back.
the 1 day timeline catches up to that.
Yeah.
And then we see that story continue and everything.
Yeah. Or even like, because doesn't his friend crash land and go like wave his arm?
Yeah.
And Tom Hardy thinks, all right, you're good, you waved. But like when it catches back up to that with the boat, it's actually him saying, I can't get out.
Yeah, I'm freaking drowning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gosh. Even like, I want to like, part of the things I love about movies is how they're filmed.
Yeah.
So like, I don't want to get into a lot. I liked Mission Impossible. The reason why I liked it, I didn't like say that as
The new one, or what do you
The new
mean?
one, sorry.
Okay.
The, Dead Reckoning.
Part 1.
Part 1. The reason why I thought it was really good in some aspects, because this is like how it's filmed. Like the dude's literally driving off a cliff. Like that's so sick.
Yeah.
And like, and people bash Marvel because it's all CGI, it's all fake. And I was always like, how dare you? I kind of get what they're saying in a way where it's like,
Yeah.
you have to appreciate how much work they put in. Like just certain scenes where I'm like where was Dunkirk filmed?
Dunkirk.
Really?
Yeah.
So
They had to get through a lot of French red tape.
how
It
did
was
like
filmed on the beach at Dunkirk.
where it actually happened?
Yes.
Oh my Because I was wondering, the mole or whatever, that was called a long kind of walkway.
Yeah, I was going to look up what exactly that meant in nautical terms.
Yeah.
It's a dock. It's a pier. It's a harbor.
I was wondering, like, I'm sure he made it look just like it, but was that the actual one?
They spent $900,000 building that.
So they built it?
Yeah, they did. They built it.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So that was the actual beach where the soldiers were actually
The
trapped.
beach was CGI.
Shut. Could you imagine? Yeah, totally real. The sand was fake, though. We just had grass there. We just had CGI.
Yeah, it was
sand.
AstroTurf. We put in turf. Everyone was wearing soccer cleats.
Yeah. It was CGI at all of it.
Yeah.
But he hates CGI, but that was one thing he just could not figure out how to do.
They couldn't figure out the boots.
Yeah.
Or the uniforms.
Yeah.
We CGI'd their uniforms.
We had to CGI the clothing and the thing they were walking on.
Also,
everything else real.
The airplanes are real, but the sky was CGI. And so was the ocean and Tom Hardy. But the airplane was real.
That's my question, though. How do they film the scenes when they look like they're in the middle of the water?
They did.
They're actually in the middle of the water?
I don't know that they're like in the middle of the ocean. I would have to look that one up. I wouldn't be surprised if they were. Like a lot of times, like they would have camera operators in the water with the actors and stuff like that.
Or how they film a boat sinking.
They would sink the boat.
Like a legit boat.
Yeah.
Like that stuff is like, we look over it, and again, I have flavors. That flavor, like in terms of depicting a World War II event, that's like how well they depicted it. I'm like, what masterwork and how much like work they put in to build the mole or to like, I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah. It is wild. I would guess that the stuff where they were sinking a boat was probably done in a tank or in a very controlled environment as opposed to just in the middle of the ocean or in the middle of the English Channel.
Yeah.
But like, imagine getting permission to sink a boat in the English Channel.
We're gonna take an old World War II out there, okay? Then what, you're gonna film? Yeah. So what? Like you're gonna just bring the boat back after? No. So we're gonna leave the boat out there because we're gonna shoot it with a torpedo.
They did that with Star Wars.
Really?
Yeah. When you see in A New Hope when they first go to Tatooine and you see the skeleton on the dune, they left that there. And then when they came back to Tunisia to shoot The Phantom Menace, they found it.
What?
Yeah. Imagine being like a nomadic someone or something and just coming across that in the middle of the desert.
You're like, okay.
I'm gonna keep walking. I'm gonna keep going. And actually, I'm turning around instead. Is what I'm gonna do.
That's
amazing.
Crazy.
I'm trying to find
My B-roll just went off, so I'm gonna take it of us.
Oh, did it?
Oh, you have B-roll too. We have to learn B-roll.
Oh, this is perfect.
Wait,
Hold on.
ready?
No. Yeah, I'm ready.
1, 2, 3.
Look at us. We're doing a podcast be-reel. This has only happened one other time, I think.
God only knows. Bummer that we're not videotaping because my mustache looks great today.
That's fine.
Is that why you didn't work anyways?
Yeah, I saw the mustache and I thought, I'm not turning the cameras on.
camera.
Camera's off.
Where would it, real quick, where would it rank for your favorite war movies?
Ever?
Yeah.
I mean, it's up there. This is my... I do think that it gets a little slow at times for my taste. I really like slow, artful, like contemplative, weird movies. And this has all of that except for the weird. And the weird is a lot of times...
Like that in war movies too?
And just in general, sure.
Yeah.
The weird a lot of times is what will keep you in and with it, like watching Stalker, the Tartakovsky movie. It's very drawn out and slow, but there's always some kind of like strange conversation. Like they're having very philosophical conversation. I don't know. It's a weird thing where like the action that's happening, you settle into it at first that it's very quiet and it's very slow. But at a certain point, that pace to me starts to drag a little bit.
Yeah.
But then I do want to praise the editing. I wrote down, we didn't talk about awards. This movie was nominated at the Oscars for Best Score for Hans Zimmer, Best Picture, and Best Director for Chris Nolan. And it won. These are the two things that I think the movie did the best, and it did win the Oscar for both of them. Achievement in Film Editing for Lee Smith and Achievement in Sound Design for Richard King and Alex Gibson.
Sound design. What does that mean?
Like all the sounds, every sound. If you are a good sound guy, all you are getting is the actors. Nothing else. And everything else is typically added after the fact.
Really?
Yeah. It's called Foley. There'll be like videos that you can see of like Foley artists is what they're called, and they're in a studio and they have the movie up there.
Oh, like when they break celery or
exactly.
something like that?
So many, most things are augmented. There is things like obviously not everything is just the actor, and a lot of times the actor has to go back and do several days of ADR, which is them coming back and recording it after the fact because they didn't sound right or were changing the line slightly while your head is turned and you can't see.
Which they didn't do that in Oppenheimer at all, didn't they? I heard they didn't do that at all.
Yeah, I saw Downey did an interview where he was like, usually you have to do like 3 days of ADR, and I came in and it was like an hour and we were done. It was like, oh, crazy. Like that, and I think that was him more talking about like the level of like the script is as exactly what we want it to be, and the sound guys are incredible at their job and everything. More so than I don't know how I was going to finish that. My sentence is over.
Next sentence.
But yeah, that's sound design. And so like when you're hearing the reason I say the sound design is incredible in this movie is because it really is the thing that is driving everything, because there isn't a lot of dialogue. And a lot of times it is like that quiet ticking in the background that kind of adds tension. It was actually, I know this, it is Hans Zimmer got a recording of Chris Nolan's stopwatch.
No way.
Yeah, or pocket watch. And just put that on a synth and messed with it. Isn't that fun? But he doesn't do the sound design, he does the score. The score and the sound design all kind of work together really perfectly in tandem to create this sense of dread with like, I mean, the sound of the planes coming in, that screaming sound. There's no real recordings of that noise. The only ones that we have are like really degraded, and there's not, I think there's not really any of those planes around anymore. So what they had to do was basically reconstruct it and then get the sound that way.
Like build the plane and then get the audio from
that part of the plane at least, yeah. And that, it's just nuts. And that sound, it's cool because it goes really in tandem with the score, which is using a lot of shepherd tones. Which, do you know what a shepherd tone is? So
no.
That's okay. It's not a filmmaking thing. It's just a weird noise thing. A shepherd tone is a sound illusion where it's like, how do you describe it? Basically, it makes it sound like a sound is going up forever, and it never stops cycling upwards, and it's really unnerving, and it just will happen. Like when I did the staring contest 5-minute countdown video.
Yes.
In that beginning part where it's the really intense music and it's saying get ready, there's a shepherd tone going that I got off of YouTube.
So it never
it's
ends?
just like slowly, like it feels like there's just this like that just keeps, it sounds like it keeps going up forever, which isn't possible. Like at a certain point you would stop hearing it because the frequency would get too far. But it's like this weird illusion, and Hans Zimmer uses tons of shepherd tones in the score to kind of add that tension of this like it starts out very chill, and then it continually starts to get more intense, and they even timed that out specifically with the different timelines where this one is starting to get more intense, and then this one is almost on the way, and then this one is a little further out, and then this one is hitting the climax, and this one is right about to get really intense, and then this one is almost there. And then this one is kind of moving past that, and now this one hit its intense part, and now this one is right about to happen. Like, it's very meticulously planned out, the way that all of these things come together. I don't understand Chris Nolan or his mind, and I beg of him to make a linear movie, because I'm curious what it would be. I guess the Dark Knight and stuff like that.
Yeah, that was
the Dark Knight trilogy
yes,
is linear.
Yes.
Prestige
Like,
is not.
No.
Is that the only one? Insomnia, and the Dark Knight trilogy.
Memento?
Inception.
That's different.
Memento is like
The
specifically
opposite.
not.
Interstellar.
Yeah, Interstellar. I don't love Interstellar.
Yeah, we disagree on that.
I would have to rewatch it because I also didn't. I think we started this thread when you asked me where this sits in war movies for me about 20 minutes ago.
Yes. That was yesterday.
Thank you. I don't know. Like, I really like it, but that's why we got off on a tangent. Because I was saying, like, it starts to feel a little slow to me, and like that's the drawback for me. Is like there's certain aspects of it that aren't quite there for me. I don't love Christopher Nolan. I feel like his best work was around like the Dark Knight and Inception area. Like that was his tightest movies for sure. His most like unique and creative movies are certainly these newer ones.
What do you think his weaknesses are? Like what is Nolan not good at?
Well, he had a lot of issues with sound mixing with Tenet.
Yeah,
that was funny.
But, so like, can he pull the card though? Like that's art. That's art. You know, it's part of it. Like being so loud, it's like you can't even hear the audio. You can't even hear the.
If the story is an important part of it, and I can't hear what the people are saying, and that movie is like 80% exposition, then it's a problem. But
touche.
Yeah, like man, that movie is one long monologue after another. It's Tenet thinks it's a lot smarter than it is.
Yeah.
As a creative experiment, I really think Tenet is cool. As a movie, it's kind of whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do I think that he's not good at? It's not that he's not good at
like what would you need
anything
to see?
Specifically.
You're saying that you don't love him. What would you need to see to be like, oh man? Like what movie? Like I mean, I'm not telling you to write a script for a movie right now. I'm saying like, what would you need to see from a movie?
I don't know. Like I'm trying to think of the filmmakers that I really gravitate towards. And I mean, I obviously like Spielberg is fantastic. Denis Villeneuve is really good. And I feel like something that he does really well is he doesn't give a lot of exposition. And Nolan is kind of known for having a lot of scenes with people in rooms talking, which isn't a bad thing.
Right.
And I've seen a lot of directors do that really well. It starts to feel a little... I don't care about his characters, I think, in a lot of his movies. That's the problem. I don't care about...
Like not good character development?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Because this is... I think that's a good difference, is that he wrote this one. He wrote Tenet. He did not write Oppenheimer specifically, because it was based on the book. So much of that was taken from that.
Right.
Inception also, I don't think, was solely him.
Really?
I don't think so. I can look it up real quick, but I don't think so. The Dark Knight trilogy was co-written by his brother and David Goyer, I think.
Really?
Yeah. Inception writer.
I didn't know
Chris Nolan wrote it. Interesting. No one else?
So you think he lacks... Like the movie, you just don't love the character. You're not attached to the characters in the movies over.
I wasn't, and I mean that's why the part of the movie that I liked the most was the boat sequence. Like if I had to choose one timeline, it would be Mark Rylance on the boat and everything, because I feel like that's the one where we actually get the most out of these characters, and we know the most about them to the point where we're able to care about them.
Not even I forgot his name again. The Navy captain,
Kenneth Branagh. Yeah.
Nothing there.
I mean, I like him. And like that's the thing, the people that we actually get to spend time with I find very interesting. I can see Tom Hardy's motivations because of the way that like his gauge is broken. You should probably turn back. Okay, actually what's your gas at?
Yeah.
Okay, let me
Writing
just
down
write
the
that
time.
down on the dashboard here. And then even when he can tell that he's going to be out of fuel and he's like, okay, I'm going to turn around. No, I changed my mind. I'm going back. Like you can see this motivation in this guy, and that's really cool. Kenneth Branagh, you can see that same kind of patriotic motivation there. And then like he just desperately wants to get these guys out of here. When the boats show up, he's like, where are you from? And we're from, like, he's very excited about it. He's very friendly with these people, and that's really cool. And then Mark Rylance is the same thing where like that's also like I really love that part of this story in general, separate from the movie. Like this is one of the greatest military failures in history, in British history, but it's also one of the greatest like stories of compassion in history.
Humanity coming,
Yeah, like these regular people getting on their boats and going across the English Channel to save these people. They didn't have to do this. Churchill came on the radio and said, "Do this, please, everyone." It wasn't like an order.
No.
Like, they didn't have to do that. And a lot of people, it was like, we're requisitioning your boat. But they were just like, no, we're going. We're getting out there and we're doing that. And that's incredible. And you get to see that part of that story in the one-day boat sequence. And there's just more characters that we actually get to know there. All the nameless soldiers, like...
Yeah.
I don't know. If the movie was just about them, I could spend more time with them and we could develop those characters further. But you don't really get that. I don't know.
Two thoughts. I don't want to always shove different movies.
Whatever.
Washington, what's his name? In Tenet?
Denzel's son.
Yeah.
John David.
I didn't love him.
I think he's a really good actor, but he's just... That character is so generic.
When you're saying that, like, he hasn't developed characters very well, you don't feel very attached. We spent most time with him, and I wasn't like...
Yeah.
I just wasn't, like, captivated by him. I wasn't like, oh, there's something different about this guy. It was kind of like...
He's literally... His name is protagonist. They never give him a name. He's just the protagonist. And they even use that within the movie as, like, a meta-narrative device.
And isn't he the one in charge of the whole thing?
You find that out eventually, yeah. And it's this weird thing where it's like, you're gonna become great. Okay, where's that spark of greatness? Because I don't see it.
Yeah, it's kind of like, I like Robert Pattinson even more in him in that. Because even his character has more personality.
Oh, absolutely.
So that's a good point, thinking about how you don't leave attached to the character. Even like, I know we just talked about it, like Oppenheimer, it's like, I do love Oppenheimer in the movie. Like, Cillian Murphy's great.
Yeah.
Love him. But like, I have mixed feelings about him after the movie. And I feel like...
About who? Oppenheimer?
Yeah. Which I feel like you should leave the movie feeling like, this is my guy. Like, I don't know. I feel like, at least I would think... Because, yes, like, he wasn't a great man morally, but also, like, I guess he also didn't... I don't know. I think you're right to that point where it's like, you don't... I don't know. I don't ever... I'm thinking about, okay, Nolan's films. What are his main characters? Do I, like, think about them? I love them. Like, I think Tom Hardy is one of my favorite actors. Nothing about a ton of that thing in Dunkirk boost that or ruin that. Like, it didn't make me go, I love him even more now. And you'd think, like, that amazing of a story, you'd be, like, gushing over people like that. Like, these heroes, and you kind of don't. Didn't it say this where, like, because of the Dunkirk event that happened and the civilians came and grabbed however many men, that helped, like, if they would have not done that, the war could have been over. They could have lost the war.
I mean, probably.
Could you imagine, dude, like that?
That'd be rough.
We'd all be... What would we... I mean, Germany would have defeated it at some point. Anyways, who knows? But it's like, yeah, that's what it just goes back to, like, the storyline. The stories, I value, what's a story? Like, that's what I want in a movie. That's why Dunkirk was amazing. Because even, I love 1917. I like it more because of how it was shot than anything. But, like...
The one-take thing or just in general?
Yeah, the one-take. And yeah, like, there's... I don't want to get on that. Have you done a pod on that?
I don't think we have.
Sign me up for that one.
All right.
That's probably one of my top 3 favorite war movies too. That's all I have on that thought. But I think that's a good point where you don't leave loving the characters as much as maybe you should.
It's not even about loving them. It's just about caring and
feeling
like
something towards them.
Yeah, like I want these guys to get out of here, obviously, but also I don't really care that much about. I don't know anything about them. I don't know their names. And part of that, I think, is intentional, that, like, it could be anybody. It's these nameless soldiers. Everyone's trying to get out of here. Yeah. But, I don't know. Like, the part of the movie that leaves the most impact on me is Mark Rylance and his son and Barry Keoghan on the boat.
Yeah. Yeah. So, like, he pulls a lot out of scenes. Like, I think there's just scenes that are really... He's on a boat.
Really?
Like, the guy's on a boat the entire time. Like, there's some scenes in Dunkirk where I'm like, there's not much happening here, and yet that's where I'm, like, engaged kind of thing.
Yeah.
The boat's probably the best example of that, where it's like, I mean, stuff's happening. Like, it's not your typical sail around Branched Oak Lake. Like, you're definitely going into war. Yeah. But, like, he does pull something out of it where I'm like, man, like, I'm captivated by these scenes, but it's maybe not the character development that I'm captivated by.
Yeah. I don't know. I think to come back around again to the original question, where it stands with war movies for me, like I like this. I don't love it. I would probably choose 1917 before this.
Okay, I'll give you some more movies.
Give me some. Yeah, give me options.
Hacksaw Ridge. Which one would you choose, Dunkirk or Hacksaw?
Dunkirk.
Oh, okay. David Private Ryan.
Saving Private Ryan.
Black Hawk Down.
Saving Private Ryan.
No, of Dunkirk.
Oh.
I meant compare Dunkirk versus these movies.
It's been a long time since I watched Black Hawk Down. Because Black Hawk Down is like the opposite of this. It's like continued intensity.
Oh, yeah.
Never-ending intensity. No. I don't know. I think I might choose Black Hawk Down. Just because, like, I haven't seen it in a while and I'd love to rewatch it.
Have you seen Imitation Game?
Dunkirk.
Really?
Yeah, it's fine.
I love that movie. Operation Mincemeat. Have you seen that one?
Yes. That's a tough one because I feel like it firmly sits in the same category for me as the Imitation Game of, like, it's good, but it's like there's this weird category of, like, middle of the road World War II movies. Like not the Imitation Game. The Monuments Men is another one of those.
I haven't seen that one.
It's about these guys that it's a really cool thing in history. It's these guys who their whole thing was going and recovering art and saving art from being destroyed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and it's got like George Clooney, I think, and Bill Murray, Matt Damon.
Yeah, Matt Damon's
a lot of people are in that movie. But it just doesn't really ever fully deliver on that premise. Operation Mincemeat of those three is probably my favorite.
So you would say so there's the bad war movies, there's the amazing war movies.
And then there's just like...
But you would say Dunkirk's
regular.
More than just regular. Like
it's between middle of the road and great.
Yeah.
But closer to great. There's just, I don't know what it is about it that it just like doesn't grab me like I would wish it would.
Are you like... Do you get boat sick pretty easily? Like, are you just like scared of water? So
yeah, water, like, I don't like
you're
it.
just waiting for it to end because you're like,
I can't even drink water.
I mean, wow. Can you imagine, dude, like being on fire in the ocean surrounded by oil?
Your choices are drown or...
burn.
Yeah.
Like, what a way to go.
Probably drown.
I would just go down and swim deeper and deeper and deeper until the oil's gone.
Until you get to the other side. And then you come out. And you're like, I'm here, guys.
You're here, guys. And you're like, dude, how'd you get out of there?
How'd you get here?
What did you think about the ending of Dunkirk?
The ending of Dunkirk? When Nick Fury showed up and asked Tom Hardy to join the Avengers?
Shut up. That actually happened.
Yeah.
From, like, the scene when they're on the train, the scene when they got the boat, the blind guy gives them.
That's cool. That's interesting. Like, I'm kind of interested in Harry Styles' character. I don't totally understand his motivation and what his deal is. Because he's like...
He's very...
he's kind of cynical and
angry.
He's
very expressive. Like, he tells you how he feels about stuff. When all the other soldiers are kind of like... They're just, like, almost in shock.
Very, like, pragmatic.
Yeah.
They're just like, freaking chill out, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where he's, like... He's very concerned with the public perception... And he doesn't realize this guy's blind. He's like, that guy couldn't even look at us.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think it's really cool that, like, it wasn't seen as a great failure and they're just, like, happy to have their boys home.
What's the line? We survived and that's enough or something?
Yes, that's what I wrote at the top here. The guy is going, what is he saying to them?
He's like, great job,
great
boys.
job, great job.
Great job. And he's like, we didn't win.
He says, all we did was survive. He says, that's enough. Like, that's
a good line.
Yeah, that is the one line that I wrote down, the quote. That's great.
So does Cillian Murphy know that he killed that kid at the end? Because he looks back and sees the body being carried.
I think so,
and he disappears. So you wanted, like, that story. Like, that just shows, like, I mean, this character, the Shivering Sailman, or whatever it's called, like, he's already, like, destroyed by the war mentally.
Yeah.
And now he just killed a kid who was trying to help him. Like,
and he's gone.
What's going to happen? Like, what happened to him?
We don't know.
Like, where did he go? Did he go back into the war? Did he go kill himself? Like,
let's go see the sequel.
Dunkirk.
To Kirk.
To Kirk.
Too done to Kirk.
Too kind to put it.
Say that again?
Too bad to Kirk.
Too bound to Kirk.
So, I mean, I definitely love the ending where it kind of leaves you with a, you should be hopeful, but you shouldn't be. So yeah, I definitely like the uneasiness it leaves you with, because I think you're kind of like, you're wanting to be hopeful, because I mean, at the end of the end credit, or not end credit, after the film's over, it says it helped him win because it saved this many men when it wasn't supposed to, and it helped him win the war. But you're also kind of like, dang, like, I don't know, I didn't walk away thinking like, it wasn't like a Hacksaw Ridge feeling, kind of like 1917 feeling where it's like, I guess that's more cheerful maybe. Did you leave empowered? Like, wow, let's go join the war. Just kidding. Or did you feel like, oh man, what would you call it a feel good story?
This one?
Yeah.
I wouldn't call it a feel good story, but it definitely, I think that it does kind of end on that note of like humanity coming together. Like we can get into like the humanism kind of side of this, of like people like really came for each other and like really pulled out and did a good job. Yeah. And I know it didn't work well. Pulled out all the stops.
Yeah, humanity was good there.
Yes.
You did a good job. Yeah.
Like it's, I don't know. It's not like a happy-go-lucky, what a good story. It's more a thing of look at what.
You almost wonder if everyone kind of left feeling. Again, does Harry Styles have a character name?
Probably.
You almost leave it feeling like how he did, because he was kind of like discouraged. We didn't win. Oh, we did survive. And you could tell he was kind of like conflicted inside of like, what do I do with what just happened kind of thing. So you wonder if that's kind of like, that's kind of the expectation for the audience is like, you leave, like, you're like, man, F war. Like, hey, I'm anti-war. You know? Yeah. I'll say it now, guys.
That's a
I'm
bold
Aiden
stance.
Pauley and I'm against war.
Are you sure about that?
I'm against war, okay? Don't make me say it again, okay? Because I will. Like
the new world order is going to come after you.
I am on a mission. I'm anti-war.
All right.
It's like, I love when people
Speak
do
for
that.
yourself.
When people like just make those hot takes. Like, we were in a hotel once, and my brother was getting married. Brother-in-law was getting married.
Yeah.
And my brother-in-law and I were going in this elevator, and on comes a guy with a suitcase, and we were both going down together, and I look over and he has like this big swastika crossed out. I'm like,
okay.
Oh, that's awesome. And I go, oh.
You don't like Nazis then?
Yeah. So then Zach goes, just trying to be friendly to Zach Pauley. He goes, so what's with that sticker? Like, tell him about the story about the sticker. This guy looks at him and goes, I think it's pretty self-explanatory. And we're like, we get off the elevator and we're like, why do people feel the need that they have to like announce that they're against Nazism? Like, you usually just hope most people are. That's the whole joke that I'm saying. Like, hey guys, I'm anti-war. It's like, yeah, no duh, you idiot. Most people are.
Yeah.
This guy was like, what do you think? It's like, why do you have a sticker on your suitcase announcing that? Like,
if it's called into question, then like, sure, make a statement.
But he's like, by the way, guys, I'm against.
Just getting out ahead of it. Like, that makes me more suspicious.
Yeah.
The one that always.
Guys, I swear.
Listen.
Hey, guy, I'm about to ask it. I am against it.
You might be hearing some things in the near future about, I don't know, my opinions on Jews or
I'm against
minorities.
the Holocaust. I was not a fan of it.
Like,
I was against
listen,
it.
I wasn't there.
I wasn't there.
Totally
that
wasn't
shows
there.
You how bad I'm against it.
And any photos that you can find that would look like I was there.
Look at the sticker. Would a guy who was for have a sticker like this?
Yeah.
No.
Not at all. No.
Fine, dude. I was actually part of it.
Actually, I am the Nazi. The one that always kind of makes me laugh is when I see the bumper sticker Nebraskans for Peace. It's like, oh, I was really pulling for war today. This is what I was hoping for. Like, what are you talking about? I don't know if it's like in relation to like the coexist thing or like what is that?
Yeah, or it's like, I'm against kids' cancer. I'm like, who's for it? Like,
dude, I'm all about it.
Yeah. Like it's like hashtag against kids' cancer. I'm like, why? Like, why do you need to like find me the person who's like, dude, you know what we should do? Give these kids some cancer. It's
yeah.
Like,
like, I get like raising awareness, you know, having your ribbon or something or like that. But we don't need to raise awareness for like Nazis
like,
or peace.
Like
we're aware of
We're mostly all on board, right? We're on the same page. We're against Nazi. Yeah.
So far.
Anyways, so far. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. I just wonder like the end of it, like with with Harry Styles being kind of conflicted. That's kind of how I felt, where I was like, I feel like we should celebrate something because they survived, but man, like that didn't go the way it should. And like, man, like, you wonder, like, I think it said how many people still died at Dunkirk. Like, were there men still stranded? I mean, how many? Like, surely, like, did the boat just keep coming? Like, I want to know more. Like, go see the sequel.
Research.
Sequel.
Dunkirk.
I'll watch the movie when it comes out. You know.
Yeah.
There's no way we can know now. There's no way.
No.
Once Christopher Nolan writes the next
Dunkirk,
then we'll know.
No spoilers.
No spoilers.
No spoilers, guys. Guys,
spoilers.
if you've seen the script for Dunkirk and you know what happens,
You do not.
No spoilers.
No spoilers.
I don't want to know. Listen, I don't want to know if they win the war or if they lose. I don't want to know.
Are you the movie guy?
I am.
You're the movie guy?
Hey, dude.
You're the guy from the movie.
No, I'm just the movie guy.
The movie guy.
Yeah.
Are you the guy because I think like July had some of the biggest movies come out since COVID.
Yeah, summer and fall usually are the
What's
two
been
cycles.
some of the biggest movies since COVID? These are.
I mean, I can look through my notes right here. The new Ninja Turtle movies just came out. Oppenheimer, Barbie.
I mean, what I'm saying is, are you the person who? Okay, Oppenheimer's coming out.
Yeah.
Mission Impossible coming out. I want
Mission Impossible.
Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning.
Mission Impossible.
Mission Possible. Mission could happen.
Mission Impossible.
Might happen.
Mission
Are you the guy?
unlikely.
Like, I know our friend Danny. He not for all movies, but for Marvel stuff, he would lock his phone down, delete social media, avoid people. Are you like, if I see a spoiler, I see it? Are you?
I don't like spoilers, and I'm not really.
Are you
on social media.
anti-spoilers?
You know, I'm gonna make a bold statement right now.
You're wearing
I'm
a T-shirt that says
spoilers.
against spoilers. Wow, dude, you're
pro-Nazi.
You're
I don't own this shirt. I found it on the street.
God.
For the record, not pro-Nazi.
We're against.
In fact, anti-Nazi.
I'm against war. I'm against
One of my. We were talking
diabetes.
before this. One of my top favorite movies, Raiders of the Lost Ark. That's all about
Nazis dying in
punching
it,
Nazis and stuff, blowing their heads up.
I was in a.
What was your question?
Are you avoid spoilers? Are you like, I'm going to research the movie and it might include things that Nolan or whoever might say, like, this happens?
Yes, I mean, that's the weird thing with historical movies especially. Like, I was really debating whether or not I wanted to do research or read the book before watching Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
And I ended up not doing that. Like, I just was like, I don't
Do you
know
know
much
people
about
who
this
have read the
story, so
book?
I'm just going to go in blind. Do I what?
Do you know people who have read the book?
You?
No, not me. I'm saying that people have read the book and they're
I thought
like,
that was like, you know who has
you know
read
who
the book?
I can read. By the way, I can read. I'm
you
serious.
know, I'm pro-reading.
I'm pro reading. I am not illiterate. I'm literate. I am. I
What?
am. It's like
Okay.
a Family Guy where it's like a, I don't know. This guy
That was a really funny joke, Aiden.
guys, you can't see right now, but there are like 20 people in this room dying of laughter, rolling on the ground for my joke just now.
They are.
Dying.
They're about to die,
Dying.
and Aiden's not going to help
Dying.
them.
I was just wondering if the book was good.
I like it so far.
You're reading the book right now?
I'm listening to it because
Ah,
I
so
have
you're not
other
reading it.
physical books. Okay, pal.
Not a reader. Because you can't read.
I can't read. It's also like a big fat book.
I'm saying, dude, if it's like the
it's
movie,
big.
it's probably a lot of detail.
Well,
where-
the audiobook is like 25 hours long. Yeah.
Is the author still alive?
I think so.
I wonder how much Nolan worked with him.
I don't know. We could ask.
Dear Chris, did you work with the guy who wrote that one book that you made the movie about? Sincerely, Cinnamon Lounge.
Because you're doing Stan. Get it? It's a funny joke.
from Jimmy Fallon or whatever.
I have never been more disappointed in you in my life.
What is it?
Than when you just...
Ellen?
No.
Kimmel.
No.
Larry King.
Oh, you thought I was doing thank you notes?
Yeah.
No.
What did you think I was doing?
I thought you were just writing a letter, but I was doing a joke about the Eminem song Stan.
No, I don't listen to secular music. I'm talking about
really.
I'm talking about when it's like, dear this. What is that? That's Ellen.
That's
Ellen.
Jimmy Fallon. I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah,
I get
yeah,
it.
yeah,
I understand.
yeah.
I understand.
Next.
Okay.
Uh,
This is a good movie. Do you want to know a fun fact?
give it to me. See, wait, quiz me on it though. See if I can answer it. Turn it into a question.
Okay, let me try to read this.
I love trivia.
Here's a good question. Why were the RAF not present?
Why were the RAF? The RAF is
Royal Air Force.
oh. Isn't it said in the movie?
No.
Why were they not present? Because they were probably defending something or fighting something. They were not I don't know. Why were they not present at Dunkirk? Or why were they not helping?
Yeah.
Because they get picked off by enemy territory? I don't know. What is
Trick
it?
question. They were there. They were just inland. So the perception from all the soldiers on the beach is that they were not there and they were not helping because there were all of these bombers, or not bombers, but there were still planes that were coming through. Those were just the ones that happened to break through the defensive line.
So the German or the enemy bombers or whatever airplanes, the airplanes from the
Airplanes.
the airplanes in the night
Airplanes.
sky, the airplanes,
Airplanes.
Yeah, they fly like the Southwest Airline planes that were coming through. That means the RAF were defending inland.
Yeah.
Why? Oh,
because
so
that's where the planes were.
So if they weren't doing that, then they would have seized them from the inland and killed them on the beach.
Probably.
And then the guy would have killed him, and then he would have died. Okay, next one.
And the beach. According to Sir Kenneth... Wait, I need to turn this into a question.
According to Sir Kenneth?
Kenneth Branagh.
Who's that?
Okay. How do I make this into a question? Okay. Roughly 30 Dunkirk survivors who were in their mid-90s attended the premiere in London, England. Wow. What did they say was louder than the actual bombardment at the time?
What was louder? Like what?
This is a bad question.
The planes?
It's just the music.
They said the music was louder. They're also 90.
It was just an old man making a joke. It's just supposed to be a fun fact, but you made me turn it into a question. According to Sir Kenneth Branagh, roughly 30 Dunkirk survivors who were in their mid-90s attended the premiere in London, England. When asked about the movie, they felt it accurately captured the event, but the soundtrack was louder than the actual bombardment, a comment that greatly amused writer, producer, and director Christopher Nolan.
It's too loud.
It's
more like too loud. It's too loud, mate.
That's too loud. I can't even hear anything.
Gotta get here, bloody bro. If you can't
I've
hear
got no
nothing.
ears left on my head.
No, it's sound older.
All right.
No, now you're drunk.
Okay. Oh,
That's it. That's what they sound like.
I'm in the jungle. Okay.
What?
Thanks, everyone, for this. Do you have any final thoughts on Dunkirk?
Great movie. I am challenged to now go watch Noel movies and think about character development more.
Yeah.
Be more critical of him. I learned a lot from you, Marshall. Thank you. We are Marshall.
I'm here to learn. I mean, teach.
Matthew McConaughey.
To kill.
Conquer.
Thank you. Toast.
Can I do the toast?
Yeah.
This is a toast from our favorite, one of the favorite Office characters. He is at Andy's lunch party, and BJ Novak or Ryan Howard says, they're doing toast back and forth, and he stands up and he says, I want to do a toast. And we're like, okay. He goes, toast to the troops. And we go, we'll raise our glass. He's like, great. And he goes, both sides. And he sits down. And everyone goes, So on that note, to the troops, that's fitting. Both sides. Both sides being British and American, okay?
Yeah.
Not the Germans.
Well, I mean, the Germans weren't all evil. They're also a bunch of regular.
Again,
let me just say, not a fan of Nazis.
No.
But
some good Joes in there.
Yeah. Watch All Quiet on the Western Front. That's about World War I.
Oh,
but still.
that movie is good. You
Yeah.
want to do that one real quick? Right
we
now?
already did it.
2 hours.
We actually talked about both of them, and
Danny.
I watched the 1931 with Danny.
That's right.
Toast. Here's to boats not afloat. Here's to planes,
airplanes
up in the air, and to nameless boys with modern stylish hair. Dink it and sink it.
Does you say every time?
They did have very stylish haircuts.
They shoved me on, Marshall. Godspeed.
Thanks everyone for listening to the show. This has been the show. We've talked about not Oppenheimer, Dunkirk, the movie directed by Oppenheimer, and I hope you liked it.
Well,
and next week we'll talk about something. I don't know what it's going to be because these episodes are not set in stone necessarily. Thanks everyone for listening to the show. It's the official podcast of The Great Scope, the YouTube channel that I touch with my hands. And check out the show everywhere on wherever you can listen to podcasts. If you're listening to us on YouTube, watching it on YouTube, that's cool. And suggest it to your friends. Check out our episodes on other war things like the All Quiet on the Western Front, the old one and the new one, stuff like that. Discord, Twitter, Discord, Instagram, Facebook, all in the description. Check it out. That's all. I've been Marshall.
I'm Aiden.
You have to say it. And I've been.
I've been Aiden.
Nope. And I've been.
And I've been. Oh, because it's.
Oh, you nailed it. I did an episode with Michael yesterday, and it took him like 100 takes.
And I've been.
See, now you did it wrong.
And I've been.
There it is. Okay, ready?
Wait, do I say and I've been my name?
And I've been.
Okay.
Because that's what Ben says. Get it? Because it's a joke. Because I say I've been Marshall, and he said and I've been.
Okay.
Because it's like the end of the sentence.
Yeah.
Okay, everyone. Thanks for listening to the podcast. Check it out on the internet and share it with your friends. And that's all. That's all, folks. I've been Marshall.
And I've been. Is that good?
Good enough.